This is Robert Clinkybeard and David Anderson with the Commercial Landscapers Podcast. We're going to take 20 minutes of your life to deliver some amazing business content from accomplished leaders to bring you value, scale your business, and better yourself personally. We hope you really enjoy the show, and I encourage you to share with your network so they can subscribe and we can expand these messages globally. We are also super excited to be supported by two brilliant sponsors. If you're tired of measuring properties, Site Recon platform fully automates measurements so you can focus on sales. So think measurements, think Site Recon. The other sponsor is Company Cam, who make it dead simple to communicate, document, and problem solve with guys in the field, no matter where you are. Company Cam brings documentation, communication, and liability protection together in one simple, easy to use app for you and your entire team. Company Cam is the only app every landscaper needs. Check it out. Hi, this is Robert Clinkybeard with the Commercial Landscapers Podcast. I'm super excited today to be joined by Ryan Kugler. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's good enough. I don't care what people call me.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan, for joining me on the show today. My audience will be super excited to hear your story. So you were born in Chicago, you moved to LA shortly afterwards, took a strong interest in the movie industry, and then you made it onto several studio lots, including Paramount. And then I'm interested to hear your story about Cheers and how you met some of the crew there. So yeah, why don't you jump in a little bit, tell me about your background and jump into that story. I'd love to hear more.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate the time, and we'll make this fun and exciting and quick and to the point. So my name is Ryan Kugler. I'm here in Los Angeles right now. I run 3 different businesses. I appreciate you having me on to just kind of explain, what successes I've had in businesses. And when I was a kid, growing up in LA, you'd see them filming movies on the streets and you'd watch movies and you'd go to some movie things here and there. And I basically wanted to be a director, and that was my thing. I want to be a director. I want to make movies. I want to make movies. And this is
Focused. Focused.
Yeah, it was focused, but every kid's passion, at that age, especially living in LA and at the time. So, and I lived, right near the movie studios, and, my parents said, well, you're not going to go to school this summer, so just enjoy your summer, do what you want to do. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get on the bike and I'm going to ride to all these movie studios in Los Angeles and just get on and just start learning the business. That was my focus, was to be a director. So I said, well, how can I do this? I'm going to watch them make movies. I'm going to learn the camera. I'm going to learn the set. I'm going to learn how this is done. So I spent literally from June until September, when school started, every day I'd wake up and go, okay, I'm going to go to Paramount Studios. I'm going to go to 20th Century Fox. And in LA, there's a lot of smaller studios too. And I would just ride on. I'd sneak on or, make a lie to get on the lot.
And how old were you at that
13.
point? Okay.
13.
Okay, cool.
So I would ride my bike and, put $5 in my pocket to buy myself lunch. Although when you go into a studio lot, there's free meals everywhere. So I didn't really need it. So the money was really to make a phone call if I needed to.
Right.
And I would go into the lot, park my bike, chain it up, and then just walk around the lot. Like literally like walking around a mall and go, oh, cool. So Billy Crystal's making Throw Mama from the Train in this soundstage. Let me just go in there and check it out, see what they do and see if I can meet them and just talk to people. And then I would just go to another set. I'd go to Family Ties where Michael J. Fox was, or Gregory Hines was making this movie, or Eddie Murphy was making this movie, or Bruce Willis. And because at the summertime, all these stars would make movies during the summer. So That's what TV shows were pretty much kind of off. But then at the end of the summer, TV shows start filming in August. So then I walked down to the Cheers set and met Ted Danson and the rest of the stars, Woody Harrelson, who's very well known today, and the other stars, Kelsey Grammer. And Ted kind of said, well, who are you and why are you here? Some of these celebrities would do that. Like, what's your story? Yeah. And I said, I want to make a movie. So Ted Danson said, great. I got the opportunity of a lifetime. You go write a script, make it short, not a movie, like a little short as it's called in LA. And you film it, and anyone here on the Cheers set will be in it. I was like, okay, great.
Wow.
I mean, back then Cheers was the #1 show.
Yeah, no, I remember it well. Even in the UK, I used to watch it. I felt like every night.
Yeah, so it was an opportunity that I don't think I really took advantage of, being 13 and knowing how cool this was. But anyway, so we made the movie, the short. It took 6 months. Yes, I made it. I plan to actually release it. I cannot sell it legally because I made it for free, and that's the rules of Hollywood. But I'm going to put it on YouTube in probably about a year. And so there you go. So, but then my parents moved and I changed schools, so I was done doing that idea. So then I just got into business.
Yeah. So tell me about your story into business. I mean, did you just fall into yourself? Were your family part of a business, or how did that entrepreneurial journey start?
So when school was done, I was done with high school. I did not go to college, and my father owned a distribution business that sold videos to video stores. If any of your listeners know what that is. But before you would just stream a movie, you would have to go get a DVD, or before that a VHS, before that a beta. And so you'd go to a store and rent it or buy it or whatever. So my family had a business of buying and selling these videos, these movies. And so I finished school and I started in that business, and I basically just did it every day. And basically it was a wholesale business, which I'm still basically in. It's kind of migrated and pivoted a little bit here and there. But basically, I would buy and sell videos and started working with the movie studios and sold these movies to retailers like Best Buy and Target. And from there, I kind of grew this because I was young and ambitious, which I still am, I guess, and entrepreneurish, and I'd want to just do more and have more. And I just didn't just come to work and go, hey, I'm just here. Every day I came to work and said, I want to do a bigger deal. I want to sell more. I want to get a new account. I want to do whatever I can that's the biggest and the best. That was just my attitude. So I stumbled upon larger and larger sales, should I say, and then turned it into, why am I only doing movies? Like, sometimes people just can't think out of the box and they're just focused on one thing. So I said, wait a second, these people I sell to, a retailer, Target or Best Buy, they have a buyer there who buys whatever you walk in and buy, but that buyer actually buys 100 other products. They don't just buy batteries.
Right.
They buy batteries, they buy headphones, they buy cell phone cases. So I said, well, hey, I'm selling you movies, XYZ buyer. What else are you buying? Oh, these other 50 categories. Great, I'm going to sell you this other stuff too. So it kind of grew from there. So that's just kind of how it just kept growing.
What was the driver behind, make more money? Was it make a bigger impact in your life, to have all these employees? I mean, sometimes, people will just have that driver, that higher level purpose, that BHAG, whatever you want to call it. What was that driver in you? You went on mute there. Yeah, something happened. No. No. Yeah, I can see your.
Oh,
There we are.
you can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason the microphone just shut off, so I'm on a different microphone now.
Okay.
I can try to go back on the other one, but if you're okay.
How about now?
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay. Okay, good. So we'll just keep talking this way unless you point your finger at me again.
Okay.
So your last question is, what was the driver? What got me to do what I did? And, I guess it's when I finished high school, I immediately moved out. I did not live at home. I did not have I lived on someone's couch. So I didn't enjoy that. And I basically said, listen, I was living in Florida at the time near the beach. And I'm like, so I can have my own condo on the sand or on the water, or I can live on someone's couch. Well, I just did the math and go, well, how do I get my own condo? How do I live on the water? How do I have my own place? I need to make more money. Well,
Right.
So every day I just came to work, wanted to make more money or wanted to have a better car. I actually started on a scooter, believe it or not.
Okay,
So
nice.
I didn't like driving a scooter. I want to be in a car. And then I was like, wait, I'm driving a used car that keeps having problems. The windshield wipers are flying off and it rains. Let me have a new car. So it just drove me, each problem drove me to make more money.
That's great. And then, what type of, again, people struggle with what's that strategy? Where am I going? That big picture thinking. What was the reason behind going into different products? Is it just because you were dealing with those particular clients, or was there something else driving that?
Something that drove me into better, doing other products is videos, VHS, DVD were declining. So the writing was on the wall. And at the time in the 90s, when I was doing this, they were already talking about the super highway, which means the internet today, the World Wide Web. So there was already talk of video is going to go away. People are just going to download movies to their phone, to their watch, to their TV. So I basically said, I got to start selling other stuff. But also it was the customer. Everyone is given an opportunity. And I've learned this. There are opportunities all the time. You and I right now are talking. There's probably an opportunity for you and I to do business somehow, some way. But there were opportunities from these other buyers that basically said, hey, you keep offering me VHS videos. Why don't you offer me batteries? Why don't you offer me this? And I said, hey, you're right. And I did. And look what it turned into.
Yeah, because you're right. You've already broken down that barrier of trust, which is often the biggest barrier, for the relationship. So you'd already built that trust up. So just an easy ask, what else can I do to service this client? So yeah, I love it. Now,
Yeah.
you've obviously, where do you sit right now in terms of your business and number of employees? I mean, yeah, where are you at right now?
So right now I actually run three businesses. So I'm three businesses in three different industries, okay, in three different verticals. So I have the wholesale business. Yes, we got out of selling DVDs or movies, should I say, and we sell pretty much anything and everything. And the wholesale business turned into selling widgets, basically. A widget is
Right.
just an item, whether it's a DVD or a belt or a stapler or a keyboard, that's what we sell. So what I found is that basically, hey, why am I just, it's kind of the same mindset of, hey, let me sell other products. I said, well, why don't I have another business or two? So I kind of walked into it. But basically, I have three different businesses, and I call it a layered company where all three businesses, meaning all the employees, the 5 or 6 employees, actually work for all three companies. So this way, their job is not dull and boring because they're doing that job. So if they're marketing, they're doing marketing for all three companies. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's
So if
good.
they're doing logistics, if they're picking up inventory here and there, well, I have an event business. So if you're picking up a truckload of widgets to sell to Best Buy, why not pick up the tables and chairs for the event too? So that employee does the same thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. And again, you've got that trust there. So tell me about some challenges you've had as you've built those three businesses. I mean, obviously, as we know, as entrepreneurs, it's never an easy road to success.
Right now, I'd say the biggest challenge is, well, there's supply chain is that whole thing you see on the news is hitting my wholesale business. So that's a challenge. Number two, an ongoing challenge beyond, current events or the news or the presidency or whatever is technology is always something. So there's always new technology. There's always new ways for a salesman or a company owner to promote their business, to market their business. So you have to adapt to that new way constantly because, here's this new software that does this, or here's this new platform that can do this. Okay, I got to go learn it. Or just Microsoft makes changes to Outlook and you got to learn that now. And then, the Windows 11. And then, yes, you have people. The people of today are a lot different than the people of yesterday or 10 or 20 years ago, where there is a little bit more laziness involved or more, hey, pay me more and I'll do more type attitude. So you got to find someone who's, who you can work with and help, and they can help you and you can learn them and they can learn you. And it's a little bit more of a complicated marriage now, which there's nothing wrong to. It's just the challenges of today of just being a little bit more, having a little more empathy and working with people and so forth.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. How I mean, a lot of the clients I work with, they struggle with that same thing. Not only people, which are here every day, but when it comes to technology, the owners are trying to grasp what that technology is. They're often hiring millennials, which their immediate thing is to complain about millennials and their work attitude. But in actual fact, a lot of these millennials have got the high IT technology mindset. So how do you deal with that technology bit? Is it you as owner trying to keep up with that technology? Do you rely on other people? Do you outsource that type of expertise? I know a lot of companies are now beginning to think about hiring like a technology officer to keep them up to date with stuff. So how do you handle that?
I take it day by day, but yes, I do all three. So one, delegation is key. I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything. And so you hire a professional. I mean, every motivational speaker, every, executive of a blue chip company CEO says, delegate. And they're right. When you need to do something new or try something new, hire someone who knows that person, maybe learn from them, have them teach you. But the point is have them handle it so that you can focus on what you do. I believe that everyone has a talent, has like a Pentium chip inside of them that can make them do what they do well at. So I feel that, if you can delegate, that'd be great. The job that needs to be done, and then they handle it, and you should be good to go in that area.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what's your future plans? I mean, again, it's a pretty uncertain time. We've gone through COVID. It's still COVID, still very much around us. A lot of businesses are struggling. A lot of people are struggling. What opportunities? I see this as a potential to land grab. I mean, what opportunities are out there to take advantage of opportunities? So where do you see opportunities in your business?
Well, in the three different businesses, so I own an event business, I own a marketing business, and I own a wholesale business, which is kind of how my life started in wholesale,
Right.
selling widgets. So the event business during COVID obviously took an immediate pause,
Right.
immediate stop. But now that COVID is slowly waning and going away, thank God, it is picking up. The event business is growing again. When COVID started, the event business, obviously, like I just said, shut down. The two other businesses, wholesale actually did very well because we sold to a lot of essential retailers that were open. The marketing business pretty much kind of got half shut down because when businesses have to cut corners or, when employees leave, they always cut marketing. Marketing is the first thing people cut in any business. Sure. When numbers are down, sales are down, and so forth. So that didn't help, but whatever, we move on. So anyway, so that's what happened with the three businesses. Where do I see the opportunity? Well, I see that, the event business will keep growing. I believe marketing, well, it's already starting to grow. The wholesale business does have some issues right now with the supply chain, as I mentioned, but I see that changing right after Christmas because supply chain issues will be handled, and then everyone's going to have inventory that they need to buy or sell or whatever they need to do with, and we know how to buy and sell a widget.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that question about the supply chain. I mean, what is your predictions there? Change immediately after Christmas, halfway through the year? How is it going to ease up?
I think that, the supply chain, I mean, if you watch the news, I mean, the news makes everything horrible and just the worst ever.
Of course.
Just to keep you looking at it and watching it. So if you're having a bad day or have depression, stop watching the news. But basically, the supply chain issue, it's a trifecta. It's like it's a perfect storm of problems. Number one, you have less people, employees, bodies making the product overseas or wherever it's coming in from because of COVID. Number two, you have less people shipping it, meaning less people on the road who can pick it up and drop it off. Number three, a lot of retailers did over order because they wanted to make sure there was no shortage because everything shut down for like 3 months. All factories, right. Everything shut down pretty much from like April 1st to like July 1st of 2020. So you have that backlog, which is point number four. You now have people making up for those shipments. So you have people that are over ordered, you have the regular orders, and then you have people ordering the backups. So there's 3 times as much inventory coming into our country right now or all over the world that's not normally ready, hasn't normally happened. So that's why. So the clock just needs to tick for it to go away. I don't have a crystal ball when it will, but my prediction is the news will stop talking about this in the next week, and come January, we'll be talking about something else. And right. If you never saw anything about supply chain issues, you probably really wouldn't know other than, hey, I went to the store to try to buy a big pen and they didn't have it.
Yeah. And along those lines, I mean, again, a lot of people are complaining about price increases, inflation. I mean, how do you see that, again, affecting either your business or other people's business? People are contemplating, do I increase my prices? Do I upset my clients? How do I predict? People are asking me for budgets for 2020 and I have no idea what's coming down the pipeline.
So in all 3 businesses, the event business, the marketing business, and the wholesale business, all my pricing went up on me. Most of it is because of shipping. So because what's happened is anytime that there is a demand for something, the price goes up. It's not price gouging. So no one needs to think that. It's just, hey, if you're going to do extra work, if you're going to have extra truckers, you're going to have your employees stay in the building longer to ship shipments, you're going to charge more. So that is why pricing has gone up. For us on shipping. Okay, now has the price gone up on the actual products, the widgets too? Yes. Why? Because those need to be shipped too. So my belief is all the pricing increases are actually due to shipping. And I'm not pointing a finger at shippers or truck drivers. I'm just saying that when your business is overloaded with something and you're getting a lot of orders, more than you can handle in any business, you're going to raise the price a little bit to help compensate for that because you need to hire extra employees or have someone empty the trash more or whatever. It's just going to go up. So yes, the prices are going up, but I also believe it's just because there's more business to be done, because it goes back to your first question. You have a trifecta, a perfect storm of what's going on. People are over ordering, meaning retailers. They're catching up on old orders, and then they're ordering their normal, usual allotment of what they need. So I see that people should raise their budget and raise their prices. Although my prediction, unfortunately, is that I think the prices are going to plateau at the new price that you're paying. And I don't really see it drastically coming down a large percentage in the future. Yeah, I think it's a new, what do you call it? A new mindset or something.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. For the couple more questions and then we'll wrap things up here. for those newer entrepreneurs who've just gotten into a new business or even thinking about jumping into a new business, what would be your recommendations for them? I mean, yeah, I love that story, how you talked about how you were cycling around the studios and just seeing for opportunities, seeing who was there. But, for people still trying to navigate through that minefield of becoming an entrepreneur, what would be some of the things you would, tell them to be careful of?
I wouldn't really say to be careful of anything other than someone that's dirty, meaning who's just not ethical.
Right.
I would stay away from those type of people. But I think that, I have a saying in life that every negative turns into a positive. So when something bad does happen, you learn from it, like trial and error, and you learn to change your way or do something different so that you get compensated or something new happens. So anytime something happens to you, whether it's a good opportunity or bad, something is resulting from it that's going to benefit you or help you, whether it's a learning lesson or financially, like, oh, I lost my money making that investment. Well, I guess I'm not going to invest in beepers anymore. So right. I think that, one should always be looking for an opportunity, but one also needs to set their goal on what opportunity they want. Sure, one can win the lottery and get a lot of money, and that's great. But if you say, hey, I want to make a product and sell it on Amazon, and it's a buggy whip, and it's the best one in the world, and I want everyone to buy it because it's, made with gold, you're going to work towards that goal and make it happen. So anyone who's listening, your listeners, whatever the goal they have or whatever business they want to start, they got to pick what they want to do, decide that they're going to do it. That's the other thing. Decision has gone out the window. People they just go, oh, I want to do this. And they just think about it, but they don't really actually decide with 100% confidence that's what they want to do. And then they don't take the steps to do it. You got to take the steps to do it.
No, I agree. And one of those steps, or a couple of those steps, could be I'm a big believer in surrounding yourself with the right people, yes. Whether it be mentors, coaches, you're learning, you're listening to podcasts, you're reading books. I mean, how did that help you with your journey? Because, none of us are necessarily born with all those business acumens and know how to run a business. So, we're always learning. How did it help you out?
So I don't believe I'm a good person at running a business. I'll be honest with you. I feel my talent is, my Pentium chip is, I know how to sell. Okay. And when it comes to selling, I know how to say what I want to sell, and I know to take the actions to do it, which means make calls, make emails, follow up, pitch something great, come up with great ideas. So I do believe that, yes, you want to surround yourself with good people, because like I just said before, you don't want to hang out with someone that's dirty or, not ethical, because if that happens, you're just going to wind up in the same boat with them. Okay. And number two, I think that if you are always educating yourself, I started life at age really 17. Right when I turned 17, I started working, and I immediately started reading motivational books. I immediately started going to motivational seminars. I did things that would help me and would motivate me and do better. Like anyone listening to this podcast, listening to you, using you is a good start. It's a great start. They're learning how to develop themselves, that just like someone's going to, as a baby, they learn how to put on their clothes, go to the bathroom, brush their teeth, ride a bike. You need to do the same thing in business. So whatever you're going to do, you have to educate yourself in that area, surround yourself with the right people. As a baby, we surround ourselves with our parents and our siblings that teach us how to do it. So, and then you, from there, grow it and do well.
No, that's great. That's great advice. To wrap things up here, I mean, how do people learn more about you, get in contact with you, just learn how you've grown your 3 different businesses?
Thank you. I own 3 different businesses. I do have a website called ryankugler.com, which just kind of feeds you to all 3. If you're interested in learning, getting into the event business or need an event, the event company is a5events.com, the letter A, the number 5 events.com. The marketing businesses, we make high-end marketing material for people. Basically, it's called a video brochure. It's a brochure you open, plays a video upon opening. It's pretty cool. That's called idealcontent.com. And then the wholesale business. So, we help people put products into retail and so forth. And that's called aplanb.com. So the letter A, the word plan, the letter B.com.
That's cool. Okay, awesome. And that's the best way to get in touch with you, just through your website, and that will direct them to the 3.
Yeah,
okay.
There's a contact me on every page. I'm not
cool.
I forthright on all my information. I'm not one of these people where you just email something and hopefully you get a hold of someone.
Cool. Well, Ryan, really a pleasure you joining me today. I think my audience have got some good nuggets they could take away to their journeys. So really appreciate your time today, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Okay, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hopefully that was pure dead brilliant for you today, and we've got some great takeaways for your business and your personal life. This is Robert Clinkenbeard along with David Anderson, and we'd love to get you and your friends to join us on our journey. 2 quick things before you go, listeners. Check out our website, thecommerciallandscaper.com. You can subscribe, you can share with your friends, but more importantly, check out our sponsors. We have Site Recon, who are going to help to capture measurements on your property and create a really streamlined process. And we have Company Cam, who make it dead simple to communicate, document, and problem solve with guys in the field, no matter where you are. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.